South African society is sectioned into different quintiles based on socio-economic indicators. Children in our Thanda community are characterized as quintile 2. An external evaluation of Thanda's early childhood development program using ELOM was done from 2018 to 2020, and based on their socio-economic status, Thanda's children should have scored here. But instead, they actually scored better than the average of children in quintile 5, which includes the wealthiest children around South Africa.
When you compare a Thanda child to a non-Thanda child, there's a huge difference. Firstly, in the manner that the children speak to each other, and most importantly to adults. A Thanda child can speak to you in a manner that you understand. If they're telling you a story, they are able to be descriptive to a point that you can visualize what they are telling you.
So, what makes the difference? We've been pondering this question for some time, and we believe the answer is twofold. First, our unique curriculum and teaching methodology. At Thanda, we teach a curriculum that we developed, which is first and foremost centered around storybooks as themes with a huge emphasis on play. It was the brainchild of Thanda's co-founder and program director, Tyler Howard, who developed a general framework that incorporated the development of specific skills through particular storybooks. The first iteration of the actual written curriculum was specifically developed for us by a qualified ECD director.
So when we started, we brought in Caroline Kirkpatrick, who had been working in Austria at a sort of very high-end international school crash. And so basically she came in to make sure that we were doing all the right stuff and basically getting all the key components into the curriculum.
Since then, our curriculum has been adjusted and refined, and we are currently in the midst of our third process of refinement.
Caroline did the first round, and basically it had very, very little detail and kind of presumed too much from our facilitators. In terms of education, kind of like intuitive knowledge.
So while it was an excellent starting point, and since we're in a rural setting, we needed to adjust the curriculum to work for our teachers.
In the next iteration, we basically made it way, way, way more detailed. And, so sing this song this morning, this book, do these 4 academic center activities. Here's exactly what you need to do. Here's, some stuff to watch out for.
This minute-by-minute design is helpful as it means that no matter who's implementing the curriculum, whether they are very experienced in child development or someone simply with a passion for childcare, they can feel confident in facilitating the group as the curriculum notes even flags possible issues that they might encounter with the activities and how to troubleshoot them.
So it has a lot of, that kind of advice, and then it would also have some days something about what's the importance of sharing, thinking about who do you choose to be it, why is it important that we don't let the kids cheat, that kind of thing. And then there's another section that basically explains, why does that matter? So what is Blob Tech actually teaching the kids? So, they're learning communication, they're learning gross motor skill, they're learning how to deal with winning and losing, all that kind of stuff. And then there's a third section which aligns that to the national ECD goals.
This iteration of the curriculum took our teaching to the next level. It helped our teachers, no matter their experience in child education and development, to be able to facilitate the children in Thanda's activities and methodologies.
So now we're in the third phase where we're now going back over the curriculum again with the facilitators and really looking at what worked, what didn't work, what worked but had issues that if we do again maybe we should do this way instead.
So that's how our curriculum was developed. But what are we teaching? Of course, we cover the required syllabus stuff, but the difference lies in what else we include in our lessons and how we teach these. More specifically, we concentrate on teaching what we call the 5 game-changing skills. These are combined with an indigenous medicine wheel concept of belonging and balance to form the backbone of our curriculum. These skills are not necessarily taught in traditional ECD curricula, but they are essential in helping a child grow into a successful, empowered, resilient human being. A child who understands not just the colors and the shapes in the world, but how they relate to the colors, shapes, animals, and people around them.
So it's, learning how to have dignity, and then a lot of it's about, how do we relate to other people? And really, working on building communication skills and, that kind of thing. Which again is, I think, often part of ECD, but I think we're more kind of direct or conscious in making that a focus. We just make more of a direct effort to do it. We spend more time on it than I think a lot of other places do. And again, that's where a lot of the storybooks come in, is they're a platform to discuss how do the characters relate to each other, and what's fair and what's not fair. And things like what's the danger of making decisions when you're angry.
When it comes to the how of our teaching, the main tools we use are storybooks, play, and fun. We pay a lot of attention to making sure that the same concepts are repeated in many different ways, and importantly within context, so that they are seamlessly absorbed into their lives and vocabulary, rather than actively having to learn it, allowing for a deeper, fuller understanding of concepts.
I think what's different is we do most stuff through play. So even something like body parts, they don't really do much, we don't have a 2-week, this is my body theme. We do it much more through songs and games, which involve, do the hokey pokey, or Eric Carle's From Head to Toe, which is basically, it's like a storybook, but it's elephant and I can stomp my foot, or I'm a giraffe and I can bend my neck, or it basically goes from head down to toe.
Finally, we have a strong focus on the individual. What this means is that facilitators pay close attention to every child in their class. This allows them to identify where the child might need some extra help with understanding a concept, or if they are having a tough time and might need some extra care. Noticing what is going on with each child puts the facilitator in a strong position to provide individualized attention to help them reach their potential.
So you basically have a selection of puzzles, and so some kids are going to be stronger than others. You basically give each kid a puzzle that is basically within their ability level, but is, kind of going to push them. And then, again, you do that without drawing too much attention to it. So the kid with the 4-piece puzzle doesn't necessarily feel stupid because the other kid has 16, because everybody got a puzzle and everyone's doing puzzles. So it's, treating them as individuals in terms of giving them individual challenges, and then also being conscious of their individual emotional needs.
Our curriculum and resources are essential elements of our ECD success, but they cannot have the impact that they have without the people who implement it and bring it to our children. In our next video, we share about the second ingredient in our ECD impact, and that's our teachers and how we train them.